do have a name.
My name is Gladiator.
Tidak ada ide yang lebih besar lagi selain daripada ide pencerahan. Kita sudah paham, kita tercerahkan, kita revolusionis. Yang namanya hal politik, yang namanya hal ekonomi, yang hal namanya otomatis akan mengikuti.
Imagine you're a 4-year-old kid. You have a really good friend. You play all different games with him. It's a very hot day, 100+ degrees in the Indian sun. Your friend invites you to his home. You're going to his home with your soccer ball in your hand. His mother comes out and starts calling you Shudra, which is like the N-word. Spits at the ground at you. Says, you stand here, brings her son in, and gives you water in a dirty cup. You are worse than a street dog. Cannot come into her home. That's what I experienced as a 4-year-old child. And you're a child. You don't understand why she's so mad at you. Asking my mother, why did this woman do this? My mother proceeded to tell me that when she used to go to the well to get water, they would chase her away like a pig. My mother said, we have a caste system and we are the lowest of the low. I was deeply hurt, but wanted to understand this. I started wanting to read books of great heroes, Jesus Christ or Rama, the great warrior, great revolutionaries. The story of my life is that there's a deep injustice that is taking place to working people throughout the world. The decision I made was that I would become something to destroy this fucking injustice. Truth, freedom, health, Shiva for president, period.
Jadi saya harap dari forum ini ada pencerahan dan mudah-mudahan forum ini akan berjalan cukup lama sehingga kita bisa mendapat gladiator-gladiator bangsa yang terbaik di masa depan.
Richard, Dr. Shiva has joined us now.
Okay, Dr. Shiva, good evening, Dr. Shiva, and welcome to our forum.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm very well. Wow, nice to see you. You all look fresh.
Okay.
How are you, Dr. Shiva?
What is the time there?
9:30 in the evening.
Oh, okay.
So, Dr. Shiva, before this evening program begins, let me recite the mission of Gladiator Bangsa. Bangsa is mean nations. Yeah? Many within our audience are familiar with its purpose, but for those new to the program, I will explain that the mission of our forum, Gladiator Bangsa, is to cultivate future leaders that will contribute to the betterment of the nations by learning from meaningful events in the life of others. In the past, gladiators used physical force to bring about change. Today, to achieve their vision, gladiator needs to exercise courage with integrity. Given the political environment prevailing worldwide, we know this combination of courage with integrity to be a rare currency now. So this is the challenge that we bring tonight to Gladiator Bangsa participants, and why we invite the presence of very prominent and inspiring individuals such you as our special guest this evening. So our gladiators have come from all sectors of society as the experience of each in their own way has relevance to Indonesia's future. So we hope by doing this forum, in the future, Indonesia have leaders like a gladiator. To introduce our special guests and begin the program. Ole?
Well, first of all, very happy that you can join us, Dr. Shiva. And I wanted to say that I had the pleasure of spending some 5 days, I think it was, in Thailand quite recently at a private freedom event. Both Dr. Shiva and I was invited there as speakers. And while listening to Dr. Shiva and also learning more and more about his background, which I was not aware of, I just felt that he could be a perfect guest to this Gladiator Bangsa because he comes from, his life story is against all odds, I would say. He comes from the lowest of the low, literally from the lowest, one of the lowest caste in India, and is now aiming as high as you can get in the US. So I thought just not only about what he's actually doing, running for president, but also really trying to affect millions of people's lives in a very positive way, but also just to become aware of his life story, where he came from and how he managed to get to where he is today. I thought that could be very inspirational to listen to, at least it was for me. And I think also from coming from India, from Asia, in a world that is to a large extent controlled by white individuals from Western society, here is a way of showing that there is a possibility that there are hope, there's hope, there's open doors, but it takes courage. You have to stand in your truth. You have to face very big difficulties sometimes. But if you stay on your path, if that path is clear and with a good intention, a big heart, and then you can accomplish more or less anything. So this is why I invited Shiva, and I'm very grateful that he acknowledged the invitation and that he is now here with us tonight. So I think, and I hope it would be very inspirational for all of us to join him here tonight. And then there was silence. So I say, Shiva, Dr. Shiva, very welcome. And I'm very glad to see that you got home safe and so on. And maybe if you wouldn't mind, like you shared in Thailand, if you could please give us a bit of background to get a better understanding of where you come from, your grandmother. Also, what I love with you, I just also want to say that, by the way, Dr. Shiva invented what we know as email for all of us at the age of 14. That is quite an accomplishment, and it is affecting so many of our lives here. Just that technical thing, that these 50 pages of code has affected millions and millions. And then just imagine what a strong heart and courage with the right intention can accomplish. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a bit about your background.
All right, Ole, thank you very much. So Ole, I know it's 9:40 there. How much time do we have? I just want to be respectful.
I think 2 hours normally.
Oh, we'd have 2 hours. Okay. And can I share my screen, Ole, or no? If I want to, or you just want me to talk?
I'm not the administrator of this, but try and see if you can.
Yes, you already become co-host.
Oh, I can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because sometimes visuals are good, other times they're not, because it doesn't let people imagine a little bit, but it may be valuable in this case. Okay, let me see if I can bring this up. All right, here we go. So I'll keep these. So anyway, welcome everyone. So my name is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai, as Ole said, and Ole and I met in Thailand. It was my first time to that part of the world. Let me begin by sort of giving sort of a framework on how we can have this discussion that'll help. You know, when you look at the world and you look at when any kind of significant changes come, it's always required three things. This is my view. First of all, someone or people have to compel people to have a vision, right? Where people can visualize something either mentally, spiritually, in their heart. So one is a vision. The other is there's typically some type of framework, a scientific framework, philosophical framework that provides a framework how you're going to achieve that vision. And the third thing is what I call the engineering piece, or the hard work, right? So you need all three. You have to have a very clear vision. You have to have the physics or the science which can help you achieve that vision, and then you need to have the action, right? So you can think about it as thought, energy, and then matter, right? Information, energy, and matter.